Hey, hi, Yash. You need to turn on your video as well, okay?
Hi.
Hey Shreya.
Oh, hi, Yash. How are you? I am gonna try it again. Okay, perfect. Can you hear me fine?
Sorry, can you hear me or I cannot hear
Uh,
you?
yes, I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
I cannot hear you.
Everything looks okay from my side. Do you want to try your audio or something? Because everything looks fine by my side.
Uh, I still cannot hear you.
Yeah, she's audible, Yash.
I'm glad you're here. She can hear
Hey,
me.
hi.
Hi. I'm
Okay,
glad
I'll
you're
just
here so
leave and
that it
come
doesn't
back.
look like. You want to check your earphones? Maybe that's not connected. Can you hear me now? I don't think he can hear us. Okay.
Hello.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I can hear you finally.
Okay, perfect. That is fantastic. Was it your earphones or something else?
I'm not really sure. I mean, I got.
Earphones, yes, because now we can't hear you.
Oh, you cannot hear me again?
Okay, now you're better. Okay. If you can't hear me throughout any time during like the next 60 minutes, let me know and I'll let you know as well. We can use the chat for that.
Sure,
Perfect. How are you?
sure. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good as well. Why do you look so tensed?
Oh, no, I'm not tense at all. This is just my
Okay.
face.
I'm sure I wasn't at all pointing out to that. But and then what time is it? Are you still in Austin right now or are you somewhere else?
No, right now I'm in PST, California.
Okay,
It's
all right.
7:34.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm in PST as well, so we have similar timings, which is great.
Okay,
Okay, all right. So I hear and I have your resume. So what I hear is, or what I know is that you were looking for a role. And then I have your resume, I know your LinkedIn. But I would love to hear from you what's happening, what are we doing here, what do we want to prep for when it comes to interview. So a couple of those questions, but let's start with what kind of roles you're looking for.
I'm looking for mostly back-end roles or software developer roles. Mainly, like my skill sets are in mostly in back-end, so preferably back-end developer skills, back-end developer jobs. Specifically in Java, AWS domain, if possible. Um, but yeah, as I said, like I'm open to other languages as well. So yeah, probably like mostly on the developer side roles.
Okay, all right. And then, of course, give me idea of what's working so far and what's not working?
Like in the interview process.
Yes, in terms of job search, in terms of interview process. I mean, market is one thing, so we don't have to worry about that. That's something I'm aware about. But what's working from your end and what's not working from your end?
So I would say like uh, behavioral questions. I feel like I'm doing like I'm get improving after each interview. Like recently, like day before yesterday, I had an interview with a start like CEO of a startup, and like he asked me a bunch of behavioral questions, like how do you um how do you manage failure, or how where do you see yourself in 5 or 10 years, like questions like that. And like I think like he got impressed with it, and like he sent me to next round. um but I feel like sometimes I fumble in middle of an interview.
Mm-hmm.
uh like if I fumble that, then I feel like I lose that interview, like I lose the confidence after that, and I just start speaking gibberish after that. Like I don't even want to say that, and I'll just start saying them.
Okay, okay. So I'm hearing you say that you know that you have confidence, you do things well, but if it goes south even a little, then from there it goes south because in your mind you're losing it already. Okay, I
Yeah,
think
it
that's
doesn't happen like every interview, like maybe once or twice it has happened. Yeah.
okay. No, I think that's an like I don't even I won't say important, but that's such a good realization that you know that what's not working well, right? Usually the coaches find that out,
Yeah.
but if you already know, that's really good. I know that we haven't started, but one piece of advice that I would give you is if you lose that trail of thought and you know that from here it might be like you blabbering and not speaking what you really want to see, um, take a breather and tell that to the interviewer that I'm going to take a breather right now and take a sip of water. Take that sip of water and take that as a break. You'll get that 5 seconds, and I think that those 5 seconds is luxury in an interview. Take that 5 seconds, take that sip of water, and then just get back to that idea of like, oh, this is an interview and this is extremely important. Because as much
Okay.
as your answers are important, how do you control those 25 minutes are also important. So if you would know that you are controlling these 25 minutes, it'll be important. um, Always we go in the mindset that, oh, recruiter is going to control and I'm going to say whatever questions they're going to ask, right? I'm there to answer the question. Just
Yeah.
opposite, prepare your mind for that mindset that, oh, I'm going to take care of it, it is my interview, it's not their interview, it's my interview, right? Best thing to
Mm.
do is take that break, take a sip of water, do fake coughing. You can always fake cough, right? You can mute and then
Yeah.
you don't know if the other person is actually coughing. You can be, and then just cough. You can actually take that for a minute and you can be like, I'm sorry, I'm not sure what happened. I'm just going to take a sip of water. So
Yeah.
that'll be the
So
final.
mostly, just one thing. Like mostly the behavioral questions these recruiters ask are on like normal phone call, so there's
Yeah.
no video or something. So there, can I ask the same thing? Like, can I take a sip of water?
Absolutely. And then you mute it. If you're speaking and then you're muting suddenly in between, make sure that you're telling them like, I'm quickly gonna mute and get a sip of water. Sip it and then actually tell them that, sorry, I think I lost my trail of thought, but then here it is. And then right?
Mm.
Because it's only humanly to have cough. It's only humanly to take a break of 5 seconds when 25 minutes of conversation. But it's not humanly to it's humanly, but it's not okay with some of the recruiters to actually tell them that, oh, I lost the trail of thought, so I don't know what to say. I'll start from the beginning. I've had candidates who've said, oh, let me start from the beginning because I don't know what I'm saying. And for me, that's a red flag. I probably wouldn't want to take them to the hiring manager because then I'm not sure if they'll be nice in front of them. But okay. And then are there any specific behavioral questions that you have challenges with? So I understand that you said that one of the challenges is delivering that answer that you know probably. But do you have
Yeah.
any other specific questions that you think are pretty challenging and you don't know if you do well or not?
Um, I would say, like one of the thing is, when they ask that. I really forgot now. Uh, uh, like yeah, one problem with me is like let's say like after the questions Q&A is over, then she like the recruiter is open for questions from my end. I'm not able to ask more much questions. Like I'll just ask whether about the work culture or about the interview process. Like tell me, like, can you give me some more questions, like what I can ask there? Like
Yes, absolutely. So I can give you a list also, and I can send it out through email. But my favorite questions to ask is one, what kind of projects would I be doing if during this role or during my time here, or if you don't want to ask specific questions related to work, because that can be like, oh, this is hiring manager related. I don't know. A recruiter can actually say that. You should
yeah,
probably ask that what exactly are you looking for in a candidate, or what is that the team is looking for in a candidate for this role. That would probably open up an idea of like what exactly are they looking for, and then you would have an idea. And I think sometimes that has also happened when a candidate, when I say that to a candidate that this is what we're looking for, they remember a couple of other projects that they have done, and they're like, oh, I did not get a chance to talk about that project, and I think it'll be very relevant to this role. So then you can also have like a couple of minutes at the end to us. So yes, one, what are you looking for in a candidate? Second, definitely, what is your favorite part about the company? Third, are there any other employee resources other than the work, like a mentorship program or employee resource group, or like what does networking or mentoring kind of looks like? Why? Because you're not just concerned about this one specific role, you're concerned about your overall growth in the company. So that will just
yeah,
show that you see a bigger picture, kind of. But I can send some of these
okay,
questions to you if that would
sure,
help.
sure, thanks.
Okay.
Um,
Go ahead, please.
sorry.
All
One more thing was like when they ask some questions like why do you think like you would be the best match for this job role or this position?
Mhm.
So like sometimes like obviously they have my resume and they see that I have worked in Java and AWS, and like the skill sets that they want are totally different from the skill sets that I have worked on. So what do I say there? Like how am I good fit there?
Yeah, that's a great question. So there you will talk about transferable skills and bringing multiple variety of experiences rather than just bringing one. So then you can talk about that. I see that the role demands A, but I haven't worked directly with A, but I have worked with these projects which were directly related to what now we could apply to A, and then start giving examples of how you have transferable skills in terms of learning a new language, in terms of working multiple stakeholders where you haven't worked, and in terms of working on a project which was extremely challenging for you, but you still did it on time and with a good impact with the company, but all of that within 3 minutes. So one, you will talk
Mm,
about, and every answer needs to be within 3 minutes. It cannot go more than 3.5. I mean,
okay,
maximum. Because then after that, I'm not I'll be
okay,
like, weird. Because again, recruiters are not experts. I say to a lot of my clients, we are not experts. We are looking for specific keywords. We're looking for specific projects because we're just taking notes on the end, right? At the end, we'll just go and
mm,
give it to the hiring manager. Yes, we have a huge decision power where we can say yes and no there and then, but we also want to be very fair. So we're just taking notes at the end. So make sure that you're not going beyond 3.5 minutes, because then you don't have like I'm not engaged in after that,
okay,
until unless I ask another follow-up question. So to shorten what you asked, talk about transferable skills, talk one of the projects which was very closely related to what the role is demanding for. Definitely ask for your quality of learning new things and absolutely excelling in it. Yeah.
okay,
Okay. Okay, so I usually do that, and we can actually do this. I like that you have specific questions and I can answer it. What I usually do with this setup is I would I would do like 20-25 minutes of mock interview with you, kind of ask very generic behavioral questions, then give you feedback on it and what I liked, what could have been done better, and then we can practice again at the end for like 5-10 minutes. Do you want to do it that way, or do you still want to ask more questions which are challenging for you or which you are looking for an answer for?
No, we can do it your way. If I
Okay,
have
yeah.
like some more questions, I'll ask later.
Yes, so let's do it that way. Let's just keep around, let's see, 10-ish minutes at the end for your questions and our feedback, and then we'll go about that. So we have 45 minutes. So I think we have enough time. Okay, so
Okay,
from the beginning, we'll do it that way where I would be asking you questions like a recruiter would ask. I would still be looking at you, but definitely taking notes for my feedbacks. And then we'll go about for like 3 or 5 questions depending on how you answer, and then we'll wrap it up. Okay?
sure. Okay.
Okay, perfect. Hi Ash, how are you doing today?
I'm good, Shreya. How are you today?
I'm good as well. How's your day been so far?
A bit tiring, frustrated with the applications, you
Oh
know.
no,
So
that's yeah, I can imagine. Has it been too long for you in your job search process?
yeah, it's been like over a month and a half now. So
Yeah, no, that must have been extremely tiring. What made you apply for this role? But
uh sorry, like I don't know the company name and like how do I do it?
it's fine, just play along. Even I don't know. Play along.
How-
Just say anything. Last interview. So for throughout this interview, if I ask anything about the company, about the role, you can actually say whatever. My idea is not to prepare a script for you. My idea is the storytelling. Whatever you want to say, how is that impacting me, and how can we change that narration? We're just talking about that. Okay.
Okay, cool.
Okay. I'll ask it again. What made you apply for this role?
So my experience with working with a big tech company will I feel like will fit me in this role properly. Again, this is one of the big company as well, so I know how the work culture is in this multinational companies. That made me like apply to this role, and I thought like the skill sets are really matching with the skill sets that I have worked on.
Oh, right. That's great. Yeah, I see your resume and I really like what I see. So why don't you tell me a little bit more about yourself so I know what's your work background and all of those things?
Sure, I'd be happy to. So as you can see, like recently, like my last job was at Amazon. I was working as a software developer there. So I was working in supply chain department. And specifically I was in the labeling domain. So you must have seen those labels on your Amazon products if you had ordered anytime. So yeah, those were developed and maintained by us.
Right.
Uh, and Other than that, we had like couple of tier two services that we owned. One of which was an inventory inspection project that you must be seeing in my resume as well. Um, that was kind of an interesting project for me personally, but we can talk about it if you want more details. But other than that, like my tech stacks were Java in the back end, Kotlin in the later end again, and TypeScript in the front end, and AWS services were part of our day-to-day tasks in all of our services. So yeah, that's a bit about me, and yeah, now I'm again in the job market.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for letting me know that. That was a great rundown. Why don't you talk about a little bit? And I know that you mentioned that you would want to talk a little bit more about the Amazon projects. Why don't you explain a bit about what exactly was your role in each of these projects and what was the project about?
Sure. So let me just go with my favorite one, the inventory inspection design. So this in that project, I was given the task of first doing the system design and then implementing it. Usually, like it's not given to like us as D1s, like junior developers, but I tried to take that system design task and then started implementing the project. So that was something new and exciting for me. Uh, about the project, I would say, like just a simple use case for your understanding. We had warehouses in Germany. So so there's a compliant rule in Germany that all the products should have the description details written in Germany as well, not just in English.
Right.
So we had to like keep a random check on the products there. So if to ship them out before shipping them out actually. So we had just created like a service where a user would put in like some product IDs, random product IDs, and the warehouse worker will click real time photos of that particular products and send it over to user. And this was all done via our service. And if all things work out, then the user would tell that, hey, these product IDs are compliant enough to be shipped out. So that was kind of one of the main use case of this project, which we kind of implemented successfully. So yeah.
Okay. All right, that's great. Thank you so much for the rundown. And then give me an idea, was that the most challenging project, or just talk about one of the most challenging project or situations you've been while working, in any of these companies that you have work experience with? And then tell me about it, what was challenging and how did you overcome that challenge?
Sure. Yeah. So if you can see, my first project was Java to Kotlin migration. So in that, like I was completely new to Kotlin language and I didn't had much time to onboard there. So I was kind of learning Kotlin language parallelly with the task that I was given.
Mm-hmm.
And Java, I had a knowledge about Java language, and I was like flexible with that language. So and we were shifting our entire code base from Java to Kotlin. So and we couldn't do it like uh, within 1 week or so. So we had divided our tasks in months of time, and then like after each small implementation, we would wait for some days to test out that if the production is getting impacted or not. Um, then we would move further ahead. But like yeah, that as I said, like Kotlin was really a learning curve for me. It was really challenging, but I kind of overcame it. And like in my next project in the inventory system, I designed all the backend APIs or all the backend services with with Kotlin language only. So that was something that I uh, overcame.
That's really good. And then, if you were to go back in the time and change anything about this whole challenging project, what would you change?
Um, I would say I would have managed. I would like to manage the time better. Like I had to work weekends. Instead, I could have like be more optimized during the weekdays only. But since as I know, like I was a junior developer and I just started there at Amazon, so I was kind of knowing their internal systems. It took me some more time. But yeah, I would change some time management stuff and definitely like asking the right questions would have been better. Like at that time, I was also learning that how to what to exactly. Uh, like most of my questions were coming out wrong there.
So then, now how do you manage your time better if you have multiple projects, or if you have multiple deadlines?
Um, the first thing is to say like first thing I would do is like ask the right questions to right people. That is something that I've learned with experience and with all like little experience, not I would say not much, but that's the main part. And like once you have the right answers, like you can start working on your projects or deadlines independently. But then again, if I come across any blockers, then I definitely don't hesitate to ask my seniors or colleagues or manager to like help me out to get me unblocked. So yeah, that's a pattern that I would follow.
Okay, all right. And then, how do you stay updated with what's happening in the market in terms of technology, in terms of competitors? How do you keep improving on your knowledge, or um, Just how do you show up as someone who knows stuff about their work?
Um, sure. Like, mostly I read. I'm a good reader, so like I kind of read articles, like technology articles online every once in a while, whenever I get a chance. But I would say like the most knowledge that I get through is from my colleagues or friends or roommates who are working in different technology tech industries, or who are working on different tech stacks. So like I just talk with them like about their project, like how they are working, if they are facing any blockers or anything, or like I discuss my problems with them, that hey, I had this issue today, like this small issue, and it took me like hours to debug it. So if they themselves would have been went through this problem, then they would know that there is an optimal solution as well. So they would share it with me. So vice versa.
Right. And then when you're speaking with people outside work related to work, how do you make sure that there is no confidentiality issues?
Oh, we just like, I mean, I don't talk about them about the project details. I just talk about the tech stacks and some small exceptional errors that comes. But I make sure that I don't give out any confidential information about the product or project.
Right. And then do you remember any recent example where you actually used knowledge or information from either the articles or conversations with your roommates or other expertise from the industry and actually used it at work and to solve things? Can you think of any?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, so I would say like when I was doing the system design task, again, that was the first time I was doing. So I was kind of uh, new to it, I would say, and like there was a blocker ahead, and so I had to design like a low level architecture of the system, and there was a point where I had to decide whether we'll use two AWS lambdas or just a single lambda service. So like according to me, it was like I thought that creating one lambda would be better, but like my senior colleague suggested me that going with two should be better because it had its own advantages. So and later it proved that he was right, and like it made the product pretty more accurate, and like made performance wise also better.
Okay, that's really good. And then um, if you could give me an idea of when your code goes to review, how do you handle that feedback? How do you make sure that whatever feedback has been given to you, you actually put it to use? And then, if you can give me an example from, from one of your recent projects when that has happened.
Yeah, sure. So like on I again like I was new to TypeScript as well. Like while start at my Amazon job. So there like I couldn't understand some of the logic, and I tried to review it with my one of my colleagues, and like he gave me a respectful review that. And again, yeah, one of the main problems with me was like at the start of my job, like I was not writing a code which was like production ready, like very silly variable names I would write down and like just push it out for code review, and that would just waste my time and like the reviewer's time. So that was something that I worked on, and um created like worked on eventually like I started getting good at it with my reviews, like comments or reviews on the code.
Okay, that's really good. And then what happens when there is an disagreement or there are different opinions in the team within, let's say that you have A viewpoint and someone has B viewpoint. How do you handle that disagreement? How do you handle that disagreement?
Okay. Um. uh, so there again, there was a time when we again, like the example that I gave before, that I was like in the system design, I wanted like one single lambda for the whole service, and my colleague suggested that we should go with two lambdas. Again, he was a senior, so like I respected his decision, but uh, I went I went in a deep dive, I would say, to search whether like again whether we should go with one lambda or two lambdas. So again, I would respectfully listen to his decisions or his advice. I know like we as a team want our service to be good at the end. So and I feel like disagreement brings the best out of the team. So uh, at last, like it would be better for us to come at a point where both parties agree, and um, I would say like agree where there's a trade-off between a product, but at the last, like it should be in a working cause.
All right, sounds good. And then probably my last question, and then we can move forward to any other questions that you have. What is that you're looking for in your next role? So, just an understanding of why did you apply for this role? What is your future idea of like, oh, my next role should look like this, should have this kind of projects?
Sure. So uh, while working at Amazon, I kind of got to learn that um if you want to like grow personally in your career, then you should always have a mentor uh, who has achieved a lot in his professional career.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like or where we both can be equally, uh, I would say we should be equally giving each other like advantage of our knowledge and share our knowledge to each other.
Mm-hmm.
um like for this role, I would say like as again, I'm looking for a junior developer role. So I'm looking to take on like new challenges which comes on the way, but I would say like I would still want a mentor mentee relationship in this role, and like with that I would be like hoping that hoping to get the success that I want.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Thank you. And all these are the all questions I had. Do you have any questions for me?
Um, yeah, sure. Like, I wanted to ask about the work culture in your company.
Yeah, sure. I kind of like the culture here. Like, there's a great work-life balance. I really like that there's flexibility within each team, and of course, the culture kind of depends on each team. You're from Amazon, you would know how each team kind of has a different culture. But no, definitely, I've been here for let's say almost 5 years, and what I really like about it is they also have great resources and also the mentor mentee that you were talking about. We have a whole program, and once you come, you can actually enroll for it. So overall company culture is really well, but there is definitely an internal team specific culture as well. And I've been working with this team for a while, and I see that the hiring manager is very growth specific oriented. So probably seems like a good fit for what you're looking at in your next role as well.
Okay, nice to know. Thanks for letting me know. Um, one more question I had was like about the interview process of this role. Like, if you choose to move me forward, like what would be the process, and like how much timeline are we looking at?
Right, that's a great question, and I would have come to that next for sure. So we would take around 4 weeks for sure. From here, four more rounds, one with the hiring manager, then we'll give you like an assignment, small assignment, and then we'll take it from there. And then the third and fourth round would be like the panel round, which will have multiple interviewers and multiple interviews. And we'll keep on giving more details as we move forward with it. But we
Okay.
usually take 4 weeks, of course, holiday week not counted because everybody's out. But we'll take 4 weeks from here in case if we need to. um, faster in the process for you being engaged in something else or hiring manager or other candidates, then we'll keep you prompted for that as well.
Sure, that sounds good. Um, I think I'm good with the
Yeah.
questions. Yeah,
Okay.
if you
All
have
right.
any.
Well, thank you so much for your time, and I'll keep you posted.
Sure, thank you.
All right. Perfect. How do you feel, Yash?
I felt like in the last few questions I fumbled and I tried to create any gibberish answer that I said.
Okay. Did you try taking a break, breather?
No,
Okay. Why not?
I I'm still not used to the things that you said. So
Okay. No, because this would have been the best practice because it's only you and me.
yeah.
And of course, someone who would be looking at the recording, but it's only you and me. So this would have been a good place to definitely practice it. And now, because you cannot practice it in the formal scenario directly, try practicing it with the people you live with. So whenever they're having a conversation or whenever you're saying something extremely important, take a random break in between and be like, let me grab a sip of water. And then just take that sip and see if that really helps you. Two things. One is to cut the conversation in between and actually take a sip of water. That'll be very, everybody was like, what are you doing, dude? Right? And second most important thing is, can you actually bring your thoughts back to important things? Try practicing it. It will look very weird in front of people. I get that. I have done that. And people around me are very confused when I do it. But that would improve the quality of your communication so much because now you're not just saying just because I want to say something, you're actually saying something that other people want to hear, which are
Hmm,
which is I think the essence of communication.
okay.
Okay, I do have notes on you, so I'm just going to go question by question so it doesn't look like that what are we talking about. I kind of timed you in a couple of questions, in fact more than a couple of questions, just to get an idea because I want our answer to be at least 2 minutes each. Because if you're not 2 minutes, then it's too short for me, and then a recruiter doesn't prepare more than 7 questions, let's say, because everybody actually gets 7 questions, 8 questions. They don't get 10 or 12 questions actually. But if you are too shortened in your answers, then I won't have a lot to ask, right? So we'll
Okay.
try keeping it 2 minutes each at least. You tell me about yourself has to be 3 minutes. It can't be less than that. So in the beginning, I asked you how was your day, right? Was it an answer specific for me, or would you say that to a recruiter also?
Um, no, I mean I have said that once or twice, I would say.
Okay. So let's change that narration. And okay, from here onwards for the next 22 minutes, I'm going to give you a lot of critical feedback, which is going to be extremely important for your job search. And that's exactly what we're here for, right? Okay. So we would not say that, oh, it has been tiring and I've been doing it for 1.5 months. I would probably say it was an extremely productive day. I had a couple of calls with the recruiter. So definitely a lot tiring, but then happy tiring. So, but I'm ready to take this on. Because now in the beginning only you set the tone where I know that you are already tired,
Okay.
right? And the candidate and their skills matter a lot, but what culture are they bringing in the team also matters a lot. And I'm going to judge
Hmm,
you for like 30 minutes as a recruiter straight from the first minute. Okay. So even if you want to say your day has been busy, human, of course, we can say it, all of us are humans, but say it in a narrative where you're like, oh, it has been really happy busy. I'm tired, but I'm also happy, but I'm very excited for this day.
okay.
Yeah, because we're not going to say, "Oh, I'm very excited. This is the last call of the day. I'm done then, and I can't wait to get over," because it's just going to show like that he's not into it. Okay, that's one thing. Okay. Now the question was, tell me about yourself, right? Uh, no. Then we asked, what made you apply for the role, correct?
Yeah, I think I don't remember the sequence.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, because I have it written. My bad. Then I asked you what made you apply for the role, and then you said that you weren't prepared for it, right? And we were like, oh, let's do it
Yeah.
again, and then you did it. So we said, what made you apply for the role? If anybody asks that question, why this company, why this role, you have to do two things. One, extremely important, is bring back all the skills and projects and experiences that you think are relevant for this role. That's one piece of it. Okay. The second most important piece of it, you talk about this project, this role, and this company also. So when I said why
Okay.
this role, you bring in that, oh, these are the projects that I've done at Amazon, and I think that absolutely relate with what you have put in the job description, which is this. And also, I see that the company is working on this project, and I think it will be a great fit because I'm going to bring my skills to this table. Full
Okay.
stop. So two answers. One is what are you bringing, and what is this role offering, which looks like an alignment, right? Because then
Mm,
you won't get that question of like, what, why are you a good candidate? Because you're actually merging both the answers.
okay.
Okay. All right. And I know this is recorded, so you can, of course, go back and watch it because we're not making notes. Okay. Then the question was, tell me about yourself. You started off really well because you started with which company, what position, what team, and I was extremely happy. Then you started talking about the projects, and I really like that you said that, oh, I have this project, and we can talk about it in detail if you want. Everything until that was great. Then it went all south for me because you didn't talk about your experience back in India. You didn't talk about your graduation. You didn't talk about why are you even doing this,
Mm. Oh,
right?
okay.
So it needs to be a complete picture of you starting with Amazon, and then you can talk about, oh, I did my graduation, and then I have this many years of experience back in India as well. And that's how I did my masters, and that's why I wanted to come to US. And then now I'm here for this role because I think it aligns with all the skills I bring to the table.
Okay.
It needs to be a complete picture because until then I was extremely happy. I was like, oh, this looks so good. And then I didn't hear your master's degree. I didn't hear your India experience at all. And then you have to say it because if you would nullify it, they're also going to nullify it.
Okay.
And that was a good 1 year in India, right?
Yeah. That's
Yeah. Then why didn't you speak about it?
I mean, like some of it is honestly just fake. I worked there, but like my projects were not that too good. Sorry, your voice
They don't
got.
know that.
Yeah, I know, but like sometimes, if I start speaking about that, then if they go in deep, then like I'll get.
They won't. So do not. So that's a good point. So I'm glad you said that. So when you're talking about tell me about yourself, so you're gonna speak about 3 minutes, okay? 2 minutes are gonna be Amazon. 30 seconds are gonna be about your graduation and what you did in Amazon, in India. Total 30 seconds, and the last 30 seconds is gonna be like, oh, this is what I did, and that's why I think this role is a great fit because three bullet
Mm,
points of why this is a good role, and then talk about um, this is a summary of my professional experience. I would love to hear more follow up questions. And it like that it looks like you're open for it now. But they would probably not ask because as much as we are not interested, they're also not interested in India experience.
okay.
But you not mentioning it would probably bring their eyes there and be like, what is it? Talk about that specifically,
Mm,
right? And
okay.
again, if they do ask that, just own it. They're not going to go and ask anybody. You can make up as many stories as you want to, they won't ask. And
Sure.
they're not going to go and tell the hiring manager, oh, this person said this about India experience. Ask that question. No one's going to do that. So don't
Okay.
worry. Whatever stories you create, just own it. Again, do not lie, just own it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Tell me yourself has to be 3 minutes. It
Mm,
can't be lesser than that. It's too short for me to understand who you are as a person. Okay.
okay.
And then if I'll tell you how many years of experience do you have, can you put a number to that?
Um, 2.5.
Okay. So
Two.
then,
Like,
okay,
sorry. Are you asking as an interviewer or for real? You're asking.
for real.
Oh,
Sorry to
for real.
confuse you.
Yeah, for real, I would say 1.5. Yeah.
Okay, so if you're saying 2.5, then start with that. Sure. When I say tell me about yourself, you can be like, sure. I am a software developer, usually working on the back end. I have 2.5 years of experience, and then go on. Because then I would want to remember that 2.5. And I know that you've been asked to say 2.5. If you can say three, um, I'm just thinking, will that be too much? Why? Because most of the entry level experiences ask for three, and that's why maybe you were applying for job, in junior software. Okay,
Yeah.
whatever they've asked you to say that. But then say that in the beginning of tell me about yourself. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Then we talked about that. Okay, can you explain in detail about the projects that you have done in Amazon, right? That was our next question. Um, you did speak a lot about the inventory one. I really liked it. Only thing, did you say, and I remember you saying it, that you did something that a senior usually do and you took up that task and then you did it on your own and then you excelled in it?
Yeah, something like that.
Correct, right? Glorify it. Your voice needs to have that pride that I did something which was above and over my pay grade for that level, right? So when you say that, because I catched that some recruiter might just miss it also while they're taking notes, while they're trying to understand what is the next question, while they're also looking at your resume. It's a multiple thing that we do in the back end, right?
Hmm.
I would say glorify a little bit. So can you see how my voice is going up and down and how my body language is changing? Even if you're on a phone call, you need to do it because people can hear it on the other end. Right?
Okay.
You've been on Zoom calls with people where they do not turn on their videos, right?
Yeah.
Can you understand that they happy? Are they sad? Are they excited? You can understand from their voice, correct?
Yeah.
That's exactly what we need to bring into your voice. Is when you're talking about that, talk it with like this that, oh yeah, I would really love to talk about the inventory project. And I really want to mention it that it was specifically for my senior, but then I took it from them and I wanted it as a challenge and I excelled at it because blah blah blah. This is all I did. But
Hmm.
set that ground that you did really well.
Okay.
Yeah. And while we are at it, I really want to hear more quantifiable impact. So, like for an example, you can say, okay, give me an idea. What are the quantifiable impacts your projects would have had or had towards the growth of the company, customer, stakeholders, anything? What are the quantifiable impacts?
Uh, like one of my tasks, I added like a couple of loggers to one of our important APIs. I would say the most important APIs, and it cost like saved us like 10, 8 to 10,000 bucks every month.
Mhm.
So that was a big save there in terms of budget planning.
Okay, there, right? Now, can you say it with like how a small baby is happy when they do something which is really small for them, but then
Okay.
which is really small for us, but it's really big for them. Try
Mm.
getting that excitement, that expression, because I see that you've done great work. You're just not out there, and I understand it. I really want to acknowledge job search is tiring. I've been there without job. I've been where I lost my jobs because of visa. I've done all of that. But
Yeah.
right now, Yash, no one else, and I really want to say no one else is the supporter as you are for yourself. If you're not loud, if you're not out there, if you're modest, then nobody can help you,
Okay.
right? Okay,
Yeah.
try it again, try it again, try it again.
So yeah, like I did, there was a task where I had to add like couple of loggers for one of our very important APIs, and that again like helped us save like 8 to 10,000 bucks every month, which went good in the budget planning meeting. So that was a good um good outcome for our team as a whole.
Great, perfect. Now, I like that there are numbers. I like that you were thinking of adding more good value to it. You're like, or kya bhul sakte hai, right? I really like that. So keep on adding that, and I would give like kind of a questionnaire to you. All the questions that we ask, I'll give you that also. But then also a lot more questions. Then just read those questions and understand what are the quantifiable impacts that you can talk about. Why? Because as a recruiter, I would look at the keywords and then I would look at what are the quantifiable impacts that this comes in. I won't go and tell that to the hiring manager, but that would help me to make a decision if this person is good enough to be taken to the
Mm.
hiring manager. Okay.
Okay.
But yes to that. Okay. I like the other one. Then I think we spoke about challenging projects. I think you
Mm.
spoke about the project and everything. I like that. Um, just for the recruiter perspective, when you're speaking with them, always mention that whatever situation you're creating is from this. So if I ask you a question like, can you tell me about a time when you had a challenging project? You're going to start with like, oh yes, sure. This was during my Amazon experience while I was working on this project. Now what you're doing is you are taking me directly to that section of the resume rather than me searching that which project is this guy talking about.
Okay.
Even if in your mind you're like, it's only Amazon I'm going to talk about, that's the work experience I'm talking. The recruiter doesn't know that. In
Yeah.
your mind, you know it. The recruiter thinks that, oh, it can be anything from these three projects or it can be the India project as well. Okay.
Mm,
So specifically mention that. And I think when we spoke about the challenging project, you followed the whole star method. So I really liked it. There was this whole situation task, you explained the process and all. And everything was done within 2 minutes, which was also commendable because I thought it'll go on, but it didn't. So that was good. I think we talked about the change in the project, like if something happens and then change happens, then what do you do? What would you do differently now if you had to? And you said that you will ask
mm,
better questions. I think I really like that because then you are absolutely just saying the right thing, right? I probably wouldn't say that you worked over the weekends because that sounds a little inefficient. That if a manager has given you a task, that means it needs to be done within 5 days, right?
mm.
So
Yeah.
rather than saying that, just say that I need to optimize my time better and ask the right questions so I can find the right answer sooner than later.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. How are
Okay.
you feeling right now? It's a lot of feedback.
No, I'm feeling really good, honestly. Like, I obviously like accept constructive criticism. There's nothing wrong in it.
Absolutely. And by no means in my mind it's criticism, it's absolutely feedback. One, I've been appointed for that. Second, I
No,
have the knowledge
definitely.
and I know that this will be beneficial for you. But yes, if you if you have questions, we'll keep like 5 minutes at the end, but I really want to get through these a little bit.
Sure.
Yes, if you have multiple deadlines for different projects, what do you do? I think I would have. You said that, oh, I'll ask better questions and then I'll make sure that I utilize my time better, but nothing else I got. I would probably want a little bit more because that was completed within 45 seconds. That whole question,
Okay.
me asking the question and you answering was within 45 seconds, I guess. I would probably say a little bit more in terms of time management, in terms of reporting and documentation, in terms of keeping open communication between the stakeholders, and then
Mm,
having a lot of one to one conversation with the manager that, hey, I have multiple deadlines coming up and where do I need to focus? And this is what I am doing. So keeping that open communication, not with the colleagues only, but with the manager. Um, so think from a little higher level is what I'm saying. Don't think that, oh, I have like 1.5 years of experience, I'm really junior, this is what I do. Just the opposite. Just think if you would be in that position, what would you do where you'll have multiple projects? And maybe you're in a situation where you did not have multiple projects and you didn't know, like, this problem existed. But then just think if that existed, what would happen?
okay.
Okay.
So maybe like setting up priorities for the tasks or projects,
Yes.
stuff like that.
Setting it up, figuring out how many hours in a week are you putting into which project, and then documenting and reporting everything so that it is out there for manager and for colleagues and for you to see. Fourth,
Mm,
extremely important, keeping a very open communication with the manager so they understand that you might be overwhelmed and you might need help or you might need to offload something to someone.
okay.
Just that, because that shows such a bigger picture, because you're not just thinking about yourself that these are the tasks I have, these are the tasks I'm completing.
Mm,
No, you're also thinking that I'm completing this, but am I completing it within time? And am I giving the quality that they really deserve? Both the things.
okay. Got it.
Okay. Um, how do you stay updated? I really like that. And I asked a couple of follow-up questions just to trouble you. Honestly, nobody would ask about confidentiality. I just wanted to trouble you and see how do you behave in, if something is thrown at you. And I really
Oh,
liked.
was that like correct or
Yes, yes, that was really good.
okay?
And then I really like that you didn't stammer. Your voice was very calm because even if the answer was wrong, in my mind, you had a calm voice. So, which was really good. That I think that was you controlling the situation really well.
Okay.
I think I asked a question about like how do you take project feedbacks and what do you do when you receive feedback from seniors. And I think you did talk about how in the start of the Amazon you were new in some project and then you were figuring out the call. You asked a colleague to review it for you, and then they give you the constructive feedback. Um, Later, I think you said something related to you creating silly variable names and actually taking it out and wasting time and all of that.
Yeah, I think that's where I got so
Okay,
yeah.
all right, perfect. Because it sounded that way. So now you already know, so I don't have to say. But we'll try restricting ourselves from saying anything negative about ourselves in the whole 25 minutes. Um, Let them judge the negative things. We'll just talk about the good things to them. Okay.
Okay.
So we'll probably say, if you had to, you'll probably say that, oh yeah, like I love taking feedbacks because I think it's the way to go in a team because everybody has different work ethics, different work culture. And to receive and give feedback is the biggest thing because then we want to make this thing work. And we're working for the project, we're not working for ourselves right now. So our
Mhm.
bigger picture and bigger goal is to complete this project on time. And whenever
Okay.
I receive feedback, I make sure that it is documented really well so I can come back to it and see my growth. But then also, if I have to give feedback, then I make sure that it's also documented. And if it's a senior, then I need to go through my manager. But if it's a project manager that I'm working with, I just go and casually tell them that what we as a team can improve because again, for the future. Again,
Sure.
if they have only asked 5 questions, try giving an example. If you don't have an example, that's fine again, but try explaining it. So I always tell people, have 3 bullet points in your mind for each question while they're asking that question, and explain each bullet point in 1 or 2 sentences, and that's your 2 or 2.5 minutes. That's all what you need. You don't have to go in all the directions. If you have bullet points, then you'll have a very centralized approach to answering that.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Then I think we talked about like if you have disagreements and opinions, what do you do? Um, I think again you were all over the place, and I think you agreed to it, and that is what even I have written because I have like questions. I like that you said that you would dive deeper, bring back research, and speak with them rather than just fighting with them, and I
Mm.
kind of like that. I probably would definitely agree that um, talk a little bit more about how specifically say that you had a full blown conversation and both of us got data and stats um, to the tables that we would know that this is bigger than us, this is for the project, and how is it benefiting the project, step A or step B, and how. And I like that brainstorming because that brings the best for our project and the company, and that's what we're looking for. And then I think in this also you spoke about that, so I think um, yeah, overall it was good. The idea of next role, I think we spoke about that in the very beginning. That what is your idea of next role is bringing all the skills together. But yeah, I think I had that. One most important thing is do not keep the same tone of your voice. You think
Yeah.
you're sounding calm, but you just sounding sometimes you're sounding uninterested, which I know that you're not because you're very very interested in this. Just try a little bit of voice modulation.
Okay. Yeah. I can
Yeah.
like obviously you have not seen me in real interviews, but like I do talk with more energy. Right now, like I'm really tired, so that's
Oh
why
no, I'm
I was
sorry
not.
then. Okay, that's absolutely
Yeah.
fine. It's I would just give feedback on what I see.
No,
We
but
can be better.
I have been told that like about the tone thing that by many people before, so I kind of work on that.
Okay, then I'm glad that I'm catching things which has been there for long, but try doing that. And I know we
Yeah.
almost time, but I'll take 5 more minutes to see what questions do you have, how are you feeling, um, everything.
Sure. Yeah. First of all, like thanks for all the feedback and advice. Really liked it. Like one question that comes to my mind is like sometimes like I'm interviewing for a big company like Amazon or like a famous company, and sometimes I'm like interviewing for a startup which has like 5 people in the team. So like the behavioral answers like gets a bit divided there. So because like the work culture is obviously different in both the sides. So like if it's a startup call, let's say like if I'm interviewing someone with someone for a startup a job, like should I be saying that like I'm open to like work weekends and like more than 9 to 5, uh, or again like if it's a big company, like should I just tell them that like I like a well work-life balance or stuff like that?
That's a great question. Have you ever been asked anything about work-life balance in the bigger companies? In the startups maybe, but in the bigger companies, have you been asked that question?
Um, no, not honestly.
No,
Yeah.
right? They'll probably not ask it because they know that that can be a legal issue, honestly. So they probably won't ask it. But if they do, then you can definitely say that, oh, I like my idea of work life balance, which can change project to project. I'm definitely open to putting in extra hours where required and for the growth of the company. I would never want company or digits or colleagues to suffer. But I definitely cannot make that a regular habit because I can only bring healthy work if I have a healthy mind and healthy body. And we all need time with the family. Very straight answer where you're like, oh, I agree. I mean, once in a while that can happen, but I'm not going to do it. If you're going to start up and if they ask, like, hey, work life balance, and you can be like, and where you know that they are asking because they want you to work on weekends, then probably say that, oh, yeah, yeah, I like because I think when it comes to passion, we're not worried about time as much. And right now, it's only me. I live with my friends. I don't have family responsibilities and all here, so I can take out some extra time over weekends also. I definitely would not want to make it a habit, but I'm absolutely open to putting in some extra hours. So you know how I changed the narration from pure yes
Mm,
to I'm okay to I'm okay to no, kind of that. The mix of it.
okay,
Does that
got
answer?
it. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Because like recently I was asked by that CEO guy of a startup that would you be like he was really transparent, and like in the start of the call only he said like uh I just wanted to be transparent with you that we would like sometimes be working weekends and like on weekdays also, like after 9 to 5, like after 5 p.m. also you might be working on the projects.
What did he
So
say?
would you be okay with it? So yeah, I said something like yeah, I'm fine with working on weekends. Like not all the weekends I would say, but yeah, if the project demands or the deadlines are or we have to meet the deadlines, then I'm up for it. Shouldn't be a problem from my side.
Okay, that's
Yeah, that's something I said. I don't remember it exactly.
yeah, no, I think that's a great gist. And I think what you said, you got the right point that I don't want to do it always, but sometime here and there should be fine. Just adding that, oh, you don't have family here and responsibility here, especially for this small company. It's good because then they would take it like, oh, this guy's not going to say no later. That's kind of a plus and an advantage for you, is what I think. Because if for us immigrants, we don't have, other than like those 4 weeks in India, we don't have a lot of trips planned,
Yeah,
especially during the work days, right? So I think that would be a good thing. But we'll of course try to not say that to the bigger companies because I don't think they would do it. They would even want you to work over the weekends, is what I'm thinking right now.
yeah. But yeah, like that again. Like I just got this question like recently, so I had this. I didn't think of this question that, so I just wanted to see, look for an answer there. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I think what you said was really good, and I think I just tweaked it a little bit for the bigger companies. So that was good. Okay, so
sure.
I think you have good feedback. You had good
Okay.
questions. I would really say practice, and you can watch this again. So probably you'll have to watch it again for notes.
Yeah, yeah,
I'll send out the questions that you can or may ask a recruiter at the end of the call. But then also practice a little bit more. And for
sure.
practice, I would really, really suggest stand in front of a mirror and just speak your answers. You would see where is your tone landing, how are you presenting, how are you perceived. Because then
Hmm.
when you're saying that in front of the recruiter, it wouldn't look like you're doing it for the first time.
Okay.
How we say the same thing 100 times, so it just feels natural when you say it in front of a recruiter. Just try doing that.
Sure. Yeah, makes sense.
Okay.
Uh,
So
just just one small question. Sorry. Uh, I don't think like it's a behavioral question, but like sometimes they do ask like most of the times the recruiters ask that do I need a sponsorship? I know I need it, but uh, like if I say yes, I know that they are not gonna get me to next round. But just to get to next round, I say I'm on F1, but I don't need a sponsorship mandatorily. So is that something I can say or like? Uh, do you have any recommendation there?
Yes, you can say it, but then tell me, until when is your OPT
Uh, like is an interview or just uh
valid?
for
Just
real?
me, just me.
Okay. I still have like until August 2025,
Okay,
like
25. So you
one
have,
1.5 years. Yeah,
yeah, so you have
2 years almost.
honestly, you have two more attempts to do it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I would, I'm just
Like
thinking.
I just don't want to lie that I have a green card or stuff, but
Oh yeah, don't. So you can you know what? Because if you are on a visa or an OPT, they're gonna ask for documentation before they
yeah.
offer, right? So it's just gonna be a false claim in your mind that, oh, I'm so close to the interview, I might get an offer, but at the end, because of visa or because of your work authorization expiring within 2 years, they probably won't even keep you.
Hmm.
Right. So saying it in the beginning would be helpful, but you can actually say that I do have a work authorization which is under 2025. I would need sponsorship, but it's not right away. I can actually need I might need a sponsorship in 2025. I don't need it right away. So that should not be a breaker for us. You can actually say that. Excuse me.
Okay.
That should not be a deal breaker for us because I have a work authorization for the next 2 years. I might need in 2025, but I don't need it right away. Because for
Hmm.
them, then they can take a chance on you. A lot of recruiters do not know about this, Yash. So you have to be very,
Yeah, I know they don't have much idea about the immigration
yeah,
stuff.
they don't, because in my team also, like, I keep on telling them what immigration is, how, and all that. So yes to telling them the honesty, because even if you are taken to the last round, they'll probably not keep you if the company policy doesn't sponsor. But it's always good to mention that you can work for next 2 years without thinking about visa.
Okay, got it.
Okay,
Yeah, I think that's all. Thanks for your time.
you're
Yeah,
most welcome, and I hope your tomorrow is better than what it was today for you,
yeah,
and
hopefully.
and it brings in a lot of good vibes and good news for you.
Sure. Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. Thanks,
Yeah,
Yash.
have a nice holidays.
Thank you. You too have nice holidays, and then
Yeah,
good luck. Bye.
yeah. Thank you. Bye.